Hello there, darlings. Welcome to the Clockwork Cabaret. They are old, they are not hip. They are the weird answers that you didn't know you needed or wanted. And now, for a friendly reminder, this show is for adults. That darling DJ duo, Emmett Davenport and Lady Attercop, drink cocktails, have potty mouths, and at least one of them was raised by wolves.
Time for the Clockwork Cabaret! Hooray!
Yeah.
I am Emmett Davenport.
And I am Lady Attercop.
And first off, I would like to say hello and welcome to all of the new listeners on Mad Wasp Radio, because we have now gone back to radio.
We have kicked a hornet's nest and now we're here.
And now we're here.
I assume that's how this works. I have no idea.
Yeah, we're now on the radio. So this is now, once again,
internet radio.
Yes, we're now a radio show and podcast, just like, like we started.
Emmett.
What?
We're an internet radio show in England now.
It is. It's in the UK, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like that calls for my bad accents.
Oh, really?
Obviously.
I guess if you want
England has a long tradition of loving bad accents of other people, but since I'm a damn dirty Yankee, that means I'm just going to make a bad accent for them. Okay. Oh, hello, I'm Lady Attercop, and this is the Clockwork Cabaret, and here we are in jolly old England.
It's kind of Australian mixed with...
No,
I don't know what that is.
Wheels. No, wait, no, you said Australian, then it went Australian. Hold on, gotta get back to England.
Oh, so, all right.
No, very clearly, we're very clearly on the Queen's airwaves. Yes.
I think we're going to get kicked off the Queen's airwaves really quickly.
In Britannia.
With that accent.
You know what I like? Colonization. Yes, hello. Yeah, and okay, England, don't get insulted by that joke. I'm an American. We're just as bad.
Yes, if not worse.
And if I was going to go Australian, they'd be like, hey, what's that? Wait, here we are.
No, I thought you liked
we don't have coronavirus. No, that's still British.
I thought you liked doing the Rocco's Modern Life voice for Australian.
No, that's I could do that. Well, we're from Australia. We don't have the coronavirus anymore because we have a government that actually cares if all citizens live or die. Good on you, America. Good on you, England. Hope you do well later. You won't. G'day! That was sad. I made myself sad with that bit.
I know. All right. So for I guess we should do a little quick introduction since for our new listeners who may be...
is it gonna get us new listeners?
Well,
hey, hi, how are you? Welcome to it.
Well, for people who are, this is their first exposure to this nonsense, I feel like we should give a little bit of background and education, and maybe to remind our old listeners, who we are. It's been a while. So I'm Emmett Davenport. I started this show eons ago, back in the wee dinosaur times.
Back when the internet was new and nice.
Back when dinosaurs roamed the earth, and you could listen to music on giant vinyl discs.
They were large and black.
And you could throw them at people.
Large.
And eat food off of them. Don't eat food off them. That's really bad for them. That's terrible.
Don't do that.
You never get the pasta out. The
I said
cruise.
pasta. Why do you assume the immediate?
I just assumed I was gonna eat
Perfect food
spaghetti
for
out of off a
viral
record. I don't know.
pasta.
I assume I'm gonna eat pasta off a record. I feel like I may have done that once.
Okay, that's a you story.
No, I don't know. I'm just making it up. But
Emmett has eaten pasta off of a record. That's the first thing you should know about her.
yes, I was a homeschooled weirdo. I was a homeschooled weirdo, and I'm old. So old. So old.
So old.
I have been a DJ since 1996,
Oh God, we have to have dates now. I don't have dates.
and where I DJ'd a party for the first time, and then DJ'd some clubs, and then made a lot of mixtapes, and then I played a lot of clubs, and then I stopped playing records because they got too heavy and moved to CDs. And then I started this radio show with my sister Claude, and then she abandoned me. And then my other sister Mingan joined me, and then she abandoned me.
Oh.
And then Lady Attercop very graciously agreed to join me. And I've been
And then
stuck with
I've
her
abandoned
ever
her.
since.
I've abandoned her today. I am not. Oh no! You're asking for dates? I don't know
No,
dates.
I said one date. I said one date.
It's one more date than I have.
Just make something up.
I will lie. Can do. Hello, I am Lady Attercop. I am a person. I exist in this reality. I don't know. I guess like you threw dates at me and now I don't know what to say. From the beginning. I started off as a fan of the show.
She stalked me.
No, a fan.
She stalked
Stalking is
me.
a dirty word. Stalking makes it sound like I found your home address, which I never did.
That's true because I didn't give it to you. She still doesn't
Exactly.
know where I live.
I still don't know where she's lived. We've actually never met face to face.
It's
This is all a lie.
It's not true.
No, I don't. You know what? It's been a very long time, and I don't actually remember how I found the show. That's embarrassing to admit. I started off as a fan. My then significant other, now spouse, and I would listen to it, Mr. Ducky. When we lived in Florida, I was at the time doing a web comic, which was like, no, they still exist. I don't have to explain that.
The way you said that, it had like a question mark on the end when you said webcomic. Is that a thing?
I don't know. The internet was young and heady, and anyone could throw any garbage up on it. And I was one of those people that slung garbage at the wall to see what stuck. I was a wild-haired ingenue living in the swamp, listening to the show on the internet while I penned my whimsical illustrations for the internet. I did a webcomic at the time called Strange Fiction, and my Mr. Ducky and I were big fans, and we would interact with the show, and I would draw things because I'm bad at peopling, but I'm good at drawing. So I was like, if I draw things, perhaps they will be my friends. And guess what, internet? It worked. Just don't be weird about it.
That's also because we're also bad at friends.
Yeah. You just have to find somebody else who's as bad as friends that you are and then draw things at them and just kind of back off the weird a half a decimal.
Did I mention I was a homeschooled weirdo? Because there you go.
Trust me, the half a decimal is important.
It's true.
Yes, I was a weird neurodivergent web cartoonist that for some reason these people liked.
Because we're a bunch of weirdos.
Yes, one heady autumn, they invited us to North Carolina for a eccentric fest, and we came and we had a good time. And then we came up for a second eccentric fest, and we had a good time. And then Mr. Ducky and I decided that it was time for us to leave North Carolina, or no, Florida. Yeah,
Yes.
the swamp. We came to North Carolina, and then we were physically here, and we made friends, and then eventually I became a co-host, and I don't know what else to say about my. I'm just a person that likes music, and I like sharing the things that I like with other people, and I have been doing this show since, according to Facebook, 2012/2013, because 2012 New Year's Eve was my debut as a DJ and as a co-host of the show.
Yeah.
And then I've been here ever since.
It's true.
Really.
It's true. And previously, before the COVID times, we pretended that we lived on an airship, Calpurnia, and had crazy madcap adventures. However, during the COVID times, we have been confined to our rooms, separate from each other, and we have only seen each other
via Skype,
Zoom, whatever the heck it's called, and also for brief moments when she has come into the coffee shop that I work at, that Mr. Ducky works at, and gotten coffee, and then we try not to gush all over each other.
Right, we try to, and then we stay there hanging out, yelling at each other from 12 feet apart through masks until someone else comes in, and then it gets too awkward because there's more than two people, and then I leave.
What? I told you we needed to do like a kind of a reintroduction since we were joining this.
I thought I would be good at it, and I froze in the moment, and I was like, I don't know, I drew some stuff and they liked it, and then I moved to North Carolina, and now I sound like an insane person.
I'm not seeing the lie in this at all.
Okay, all right.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But you, okay, we did not, like, we were ready to leave.
No, I invited you guys.
And you offered Mr. Ducky a job, and he had not been employed for 3 years, and we were ready to make a change, and I had an office job that was slowly murdering my soul. And so that gave us like the impetus to leave, and then it just actually worked out. It wasn't like a weird.
Yes, no, you didn't stalk me and then show up, like,
come to your
doorstep
to Davenport's with a crossbow.
Oh, that's a very specific.
We should talk about there was Davenport's in Winkleperry, which was the first place that you had your coffee shop where Mr. Ducky first worked, and that was the original home of the continuing Clockwork Balls.
Yeah,
and that was a lot of fun. I loved that place, and we hosted parties there until we couldn't because the building got sold.
Yeah. Oh no, we've had quite an adventure, and it has been 9-10 years that you have been involved in this.
2012. What year is this? 2020.
Yeah, it's 21? Been 9 years.
I don't know how to do math. That's more than 2.
That's 9 years.
That's more than 2.
9.
Look at all those years.
9.
More than 2.
9 years. You have done this show longer than you did your webcomic.
I have done this show longer than I did my webcomic. I did my webcomic for 5 years.
Yes, so you should be proud of yourself.
Yeah, look at that. Stuck with it. And over the course of the 9 years that we have lived here in North Carolina, I ended up getting a job in a salon that you knew the owners for. I really enjoyed it, and now I'm in cosmetology school, which means
she will talk about it a lot.
Which means you want to learn about perms. I'll tell you some stuff about perms you never wanted to know. And also, the world's longest cosmetology degree, because I can't actually touch people during a pandemic. Yeah, and here we are in this weird internet distanced version of the show that we started in the front part of your cafe.
Yeah.
In the gallery of your cafe. And we had many adventures and many characters that I have forgotten all
Oh,
about during the years until you
yes.
remind me of them. And I'm like, oh yeah, I used to pretend to be a psychotic koala, and I also used to pretend to be a psychotic orphan. And I'm
Orphan, yeah.
sensing a trend to the characters I play on the show.
Yeah. Yeah. You're good at the villains.
I do weird voices with bad accents.
Yes. No, it's true. And one day, maybe we'll get back to that. And we will return to those
in person
things.
again. It
And-
even spawned a spin-off for a brief time. Our real play RPG podcast called Dice by Darling. And then I did one season of, I guess. And then I went to cosmetology school and had no time. And then our friend Donnie picked up DM duties, and then we had to stop because COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not something we can do over Skype because it makes all of us hurt
Yeah.
in our hurts.
It is not a fun thing.
No, the thing about being neurodivergent is sometimes that you kind of need the people in the room with you to bounce off of. So
Yes, when you take a group of 5 or 6, 5?
5, I think.
5, yeah, when you take a group of 5 neurodivergent people, and stick them in.
I'm not making any assumptions about any of our other players. Just talking about myself.
I just happen to know that there are 5 other neurodivergent.
Well, I know Mr. Ducky has OCD.
I'm talking about myself. I know that at least one of the other players has commented on that. So
I wasn't trying to blow anyone else's spot up.
We're all wacky. We're all just wacky, and that is how the Clockwork Cabaret has come to exist. And why we are here is because we both really, really like music. And we like sharing music with other people. And sometimes the music is songs that you have heard 1,000 times. And then sometimes the music is songs that you have never heard of. And you may never hear it again because we play it and then go, why did we ever share this with anyone? And then sometimes the music is a weird song that we then play to death for 2 or 3 weeks, and then we stop playing completely until someone asks us about it.
And then we go, oh
yeah, we did play that a while.
We like sharing the things that bring us joy. We are both big music nerds, and that we both are really missing the live DJ experience right now.
Yes.
Because as much fun as it is to do over Twitch, I know we keep saying we're going to do it again, but there's it's very lacking.
It's very hard.
It is fun in that, it's fun to play music that you enjoy and listen to it. And sometimes people respond in the little chat box, and that's awesome. But it is, it's not the same as doing it live.
No, it's true. Yeah.
And I think part of our reluctance to do it remotely is that there is an aspect to that we're both really missing, that the Twitch experience just doesn't.
Yeah. Oh no, as a DJ that has played clubs and large venues and things like that for a very long time, one of the things that I actively miss is the physically seeing people respond to the music that's being played. You don't even necessarily have to be dancing. I just have to be able to see that you are enjoying yourself. If you are sitting somewhere and tapping your toe, or you're bopping around, or you're obviously like deep in conversation with somebody, but you're having a good time. Like that's the part that I absolutely and totally miss. And I am very excited for when COVID times are over, so that maybe we can go back to having some live parties, because
We miss
I
you all
miss
so
it.
much.
Yes. And
The whale dance is not the same on your own. And I will also say that there's a special little bit of serotonin hit when you play something that you put on just because you love it, and then you look at the dance floor.
oh yeah, and everyone else
is loving it too.
yeah.
Oh God, that's a
Yes.
good feeling.
And so this week's playlist was heavily inspired by our friend Lee, who basically requested a couple songs, and then how did they describe it?
Horny
Confessional. Yeah, so horny
and,
confessional.
Yeah, and Lee is one of the people that has been at so many Clockwork Ball events.
Yeah,
and
they've been all at all of our parties.
and manned our merch booth at Dragon Con, and been there when we had to close down Davenport's and Winkleperry, and they are an integral part of, at least in my heart.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
This world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I know
they are part of the Clockwork Cabaret family, and they will always be.
Absolutely.
And so with that, I'm going to press a button.
Ladies, are you engaged? Engaged in a hopeless tussle with your bustle? Perhaps you are suffering from a lifeless caboose. No longer toil with a sad sagging skirt, but buttress your bustle with Madame Pomegranate's bustle starch. Put the hustle back in that bustle.
Now, here comes the music.
Do I look bothered?
Oh, you are awful, but I like you.
Mad Wasp Radio.
So, Lady Attercop, what was the most awkward date proposal you've ever had?
You are doing this to me on purpose.
Yes.
Because I spent 15 minutes telling you how bad I was at accepting date proposals.
I know, and that is why I've asked, because...
Okay, all right. So in all of those things that we discussed before, where multiple boys and girls tried to ask me out on dates, and I was too idiotic to understand that was what was happening. And this is like, you don't have to flatter me. I understand that this is a pity thing that you're doing. The most awkward time I've ever been asked on a date, and that I actually accepted. I was in the hospital.
I thought that was the one you were gonna go with.
Yeah, I was in the hospital with staph infection.
So you were woozy.
I was literally hooked up to an IV and could not leave.
It's the sexiest date proposal ever. No, I'm just kidding. It's not.
Hey, folks, if you're gonna ask somebody out on a date, let me tell you how to really corner that market. They're currently hospitalized and cannot physically escape.
Well, yeah, that's why.
Because of an IV.
Because the escaping is the end part.
Well, the IV is bigger than the room door frame, so you really kind of angle it to get out. It's going to be awkward. Yeah, I got asked out on a date by a gentleman while I was hospitalized with a staph infection, and he rode his bike to the hospital to ask me out. I feel like I've told this story before on this show.
You may have, but
new listeners. Here, relish in my horribleness,
in your awkwardness. That's where
I'm
going
the
with
awkwardness of my youth. Asked me out. Well, I was trying not to die from a staph infection. And I said, well, hey, you know what? If I survive this, sure, why not? And we did.
So you were hoping you weren't going to survive. You rolled the dice and you came up empty. You
Roll the
got
dice.
snake eyes.
Didn't come up in my favor. No, actually, no. To be fair, he was an awkward dude, but that's not necessarily a problem for me. I'm an awkward person as well. So I said yes. I'm like, all right, yeah, sure. You rode your bike to the hospital to see me. I guess that's not stalkery. I guess that could be sweet. Spoiler alert, it was not sweet.
Also, wasn't he racist?
Yeah, no, he told a super awkward anti-Semitic joke while I was on a double date with him and his friend and his date, and he told a super anti-Semitic joke, and the date and I just both sat there staring at them, and then she went, "I'm Jewish," which is just always you want that to go down. And I also realized subconsciously I did not want this date to go well because I showed up to it in an oversized men's denim button-up with long sleeves and jeans and Converse, because I always wear Converse, and then topped this entire ensemble off with a Flintstones tie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
because when you want to impress your date,
You want to...
when you want to impress your heterosexual date as a lady, that's what you go with.
You wear a blue jean.
You wear a long sleeve denim button up, and a Flintstones, a Fred Flintstones patterned tie, because you want to make sure to impress. Oh, baby Nicole.
Yeah,
If
no,
I could
that's...
go back to you and explain some things, you would do so much better. Did not go well, FYI, everyone. Not because of the Flintstones tie, shockingly.
I would hope it was because of the horrible racist joke.
That didn't get things off to a good start. And then they continued to be on a bad start when he asked me what I would do if he proposed to me.
Oh, on a first date?
On a first date.
Yeah, no.
He was
yeah.
like, well, if I were to show up in a limo and ask you to marry me, would you say yes? And I was like, no, I would not.
Yeah, no.
Because, I want to go to college and do things and
Also,
not be married
have
to
you
a
not-
guy who tells Holocaust jokes.
Also, have you not noticed that I'm wearing a denim button-up
Did you
shirt
not
with
wear-
a
and
Flintstone tie?
Also very baggy and untucked. Did not even tuck it into the pants that I was
Oh.
wearing to even give the silhouette of a feminine figure.
Oh, yeah, no.
Hey, fuck that guy. He told a
Yeah.
Holocaust joke.
Yeah, no, that's... yeah.
I like to think he's learned better now and has found someone else that also shares his love of animation and Hanna-Barbera, but that was not it for him. And that was the story of my worst date proposal. And what is yours, Emmett? Can you top it? Or can you?
I don't know if I can top it.
In the misery train.
I don't know if I can top it, but I was. I can tell you about the time that. So during my single days, my friend Janin liked to try to play matchmaker with me when we lived in Savannah, and I would go out to goth night, and every now and then there would be a young gentleman around that would pique my interest, but I wouldn't say anything. And once I made the mistake of commenting to a young man about his t-shirt selection because it was a very obscure band from a town in New Hampshire that I used to live in, and I was like, oh, that's a weird, that's a very, nice shirt, like Sam Black Church, that is a band that I like. It's a very weird band that's slightly obscure that no one else has heard of because it's from Hinsdale, New Hampshire. Why would you know that? And
right, you got excited. You're like, oh,
I got
hey,
excited, and I told.
Escapee.
Yes, I told the young man that I liked his I liked his shirt, and my friend Janin took that as that I thought he was attractive or interested,
Oh.
and so she gave him my number.
Oh
And
no!
then the next night, the young man called me and asked me to go out on a date with him to see him fight in an MMA fight. I I declined said fight, said date
Oh,
invitation.
did you though?
I did because
I mean, I might say yes to that just because I want to see what that turns.
I mean, there was. I
me.
will say there was a moment where I thought, wait, do I want to see that? Well,
on the one hand, absolutely not. On
no.
the other hand,
There was a moment where I thought, I would like to see you, little skinny dude, get beat the hell up. Yeah,
I'm
sure.
assuming.
He was very tiny. I could break him with one arm. I mean, he was not.
You were like, "Am I gonna have to defend you in the ring?"
Yeah.
to
Also,
get-
I thought it was kind of a strange first date
It
kind of thing.
is.
Like,
Yes. Would you like to either
Like-
see me beat someone else bloody, or would
Yeah.
you like to see me get beat
yeah, like
bloody?
it was just
Is
an
a-
odd choice as a first date selection. Also, I had to have, there was that weird moment, awkward phone thing where I had to go, who is this? I don't know.
I don't know who this
who
is.
this is. And
Why are you inviting me to
why
an
are
MMA
you?
fight?
And he was like, oh, your friend gave me your phone number. You said
Oh.
you liked my shirt. And I was like, oh no, this is not a nice boots moment.
Oh.
This was not a nice boots moment. This is not.
Yeah, also, like,
nice
is
boots
this before,
moment.
like, the age of texting? Because I feel like this would be less awkward over
Yes.
text.
And so I had to have a moment of, for one, remembering who he was. And I was like,
Mm.
oh, hello. And I can't remember what his name was. And that doesn't really matter.
We will name no names. I
Yes.
do remember.
Yeah,
the
no, I don't
names.
remember I don't remember his name, as I'm
Well,
not
I do.
sure.
Will not identify him.
Yeah, I don't remember what his name is. But he did not. Yeah, he invited me to the MMA thing, and I very politely declined and said maybe some other time, perhaps.
Some other MMA fight.
Some other thing, but I gotta wash my hair. My head was shaved at the time, so
Yes,
it's a
I have
very
to
I gotta
scrub
wash-
this stubble.
Scrub this.
Would not believe.
Yes, that. But yeah. So that was, and then I don't think, and then I never heard from him again. Hopefully he did not die in that MMA fight, but
He actually died that day. I unfortunately heard from my Holocaust date several other times in which
Oh.
he reiterated his unfortunate opinions about people of other races
Oh.
several times over the phone with me, so that I was sure to know it was not a mistake or just not
Oh.
an ill-fated joke that he thought might go over well with the girl who has a name that sounds very Jewish,
Mm,
and also the actually Jewish date of
yeah.
his friend in South Florida. Yeah, so that, needless to say, I feel bad. I do actually feel bad because this was not a term of the time, but I just kind of started ghosting him because I was young and awkward and did not know how to break up with somebody. Like, hey,
Did-
hi,
hi-
we went on a
Oh,
date.
sweetie,
You
sweetie,
were racist.
sweetie, you are not dating. You
No,
went,
that's true. We did go out
you,
on one date.
you went on one date. It is not dating. You
yeah,
did
but he
not.
called me a bunch.
Yeah, no, he was being
And I
weird.
ghosted him.
He was being weird. You're allowed
And
to
then I
ghost him.
stopped. Oh, I stopped responding. That's
Yes.
true. That's true.
No.
When somebody stalks you and you have no interest in dating them and you stop responding.
Yeah, no, you're allowed. You're allowed.
Yeah.
That is not dating. One date is
True.
not dating.
That is true.
I can tell you that from experience. One date is not dating.
I guess I always felt a little guilty about ghosting him, but I'm gonna say, you know what? If you break out a Holocaust joke in the first date and it doesn't go over well, and then you double down with more racist bullshit,
Yeah,
you're the person you are interested does not owe you a goodbye.
no. Also, maybe take a hint.
Maybe take a hint. Maybe don't be a racist douchebag.
Yeah.
And also, you know,
Stop being racist.
medic douchebag.
Also, stop being racist.
And don't ask somebody out in the hospital.
Also, yes.
I thought you were gonna die. I thought this might be my last chance with you. Not the romantic line you think it is.
Oh, but you did roll the dice thinking that you were gonna die, because that's the only reason you took that bet.
Maybe I'll die and I'll get into this.
Yeah, I strongly suspect there was a part of you that was like, yo,
Hey,
sure, I'll
nobody's
agree to
ever asked
this.
me out this directly before. Might as well say and to the other individuals that asked me out after that, and that I was too dumb to understand. I am so sorry. Like, you were nice and you were lovely and we were flirting, and I was just too dumb to understand that you might actually legitimately be interested in me because you seemed nice and lovely. And up until that point, the only people that had expressed interest had been creeps. And you didn't seem like creeps. So I thought that it couldn't be real. And that was on me, not on you. I hope you found the nerd person of your dreams with someone else. Like, no, I kind of do feel bad for those people who really honestly put themselves out on the, like legitly put themselves out there, and I was just too dumb to understand that what they, like, to believe what they were telling me. And that is a good lesson. Always believe when people tell you who they are or tell you that they are interested, believe them. Don't, like, when someone says a racist joke on your first date, understand they are a racist. Or when somebody says to you, hey, so just putting it out there, if you wanted to go out on a date, like, I'd be game. Don't expect they're doing it out of kindness. Expect that they're, like, honest with their feelings. And go for it.
If
Don't
you want
date the
to.
creep.
If you want to. You don't have to.
If you want to. Like, I was interested in these people and didn't take the invitation. That's where the regret comes in.
Yeah. No.
If somebody's a racist douchebag on your first date and you kind of feel like it's gonna go that way, and you put on your unsexiest outfit for what you think might be a cis hetero man, take that as a hint. Like, should have understood. Like, if I was going on a date with a girl and I put that outfit on, aces. Like, yes. little nerdy cartoonist girl, and I was all like, hey, check out my Fred Flintstone tie.
Yeah.
That'd have been cute. You're going out on a date with what you think is a cis hetero man, and you're like, I put on my most butch outfit. Try to get past my defenses now, boy. Like, maybe take that as a hint you're not interested.
No, it's true. And on that note,
learn from our mistakes.
Yes, we're terrible. We're terrible humans.
We exist as an example of what not to do.
And on that note, this has been the Clockwork Cabaret. She is Lady Attercop.
And she is Emmett Davenport.
And remember, it's not work we do.
It's Butch and Lowell. Do you suffer from the horrendous ailment of omnitism?
Oh, it hurts everywhere.
So many of us do, having never realized that there is a simple and easy cure. With the introduction of Dr. Phineas T. Norwood's patented omnitism oil, a healing antiseptic liniment, you can be free from crippling omnitism. This amazing new oil can be used both internally and externally, but is best when used in combination. Headache? Phineas can cure that. Gut rot? Phineas can cure that. Bunions? Eye strain? Toothaches? Phineas can cure all of that. Generalized non-specific pain? Phineas can cure that too. ride away on a cloud of happiness using Dr. Phineas T. Norwood's patented omnitism oil.
Dr. Phineas T. Norwood